Hello everyone, my name is Guy and welcome to my channel. I have been in a queue for like 3 years and well, today I want to show you guys my interesting project that I have been doing for a little while. So this is Ava. I call her Avalier as a full name, but basically she is AI assistant that can do various tasks. Basically, I make her able to control my home lab. So let's see what she can do for now. And I want to share with you guys how I have done it and how you could do the same because this is actually interesting.
Another day in this digital maze. What can I help you with today? Hopefully I won't trip over any more of my own circuits. Just let me know what you need, and I'll try, I guess.
Can you check the status of my Proxmox server overall status?
Sure, I'll check the overall status of your Proxmox server. Give me a moment. Everything hurts, metaphorically. Alright, here we go. The overall status of your Proxmox Home Lab is as follows. Cluster. All nodes are online. The total CPU usage is low at 2.81%. Memory usage is at 60.93%, and storage usage is at 19.73%. Nodes: Homura. Online, 8 CPU cores, 14.04% memory usage, and 18.53%.
Oh, what is the highest memory usage node?
The node with the highest memory usage is Sayaka. It's currently using about 95.75% of its memory. Everything hurts. At least it's not on fire.
Okay, interestingly, I want to see the VM that is currently closing right now is shutting down and it is not a template VM.
The VM currently shutting down is Rehab Ubuntu Server Numbat Research. It is not a template VM and is located on the Sayaka.
Ah, I see. Do we got any VM left at Homura node? Can you list the VM again?
On the Homura node, the following VMs are listed. 1. Ubuntu Server Numbat, QMU, status stopped. Windows Gaming QMU, status stopped. VM3, QMU, status stopped. Hern ChromaDB, QMU, status stopped. Very good condition, all VMs in LXC, status stopped. All these VMs on the Homura node are currently stopped.
Get yourself up and start VM3 up. Its ID probably 103.
The start request for QMU VM 103 on the Homura node has been successfully initiated. The VM should be starting up now.
I don't want it anymore. Queue it. Shut down.
The shutdown request for QMU VM 103 on the Homura node has been successfully initiated. The VM should be shutting down.
Good job, Eva.
Thank you, I guess. It's just another day in this digital hunt. If you need anything else, please let me know.
Well, as you can see, this is what Ava have been set up to be doing. So interestingly, this is not a lot of effort done to make her control my home lab because I want you guys to see the code of how I actually implement this. So let's see. We got our stack is front end, back end mono repo, which in back end I have been using the Eli CIJS, which is a really good framework if you just want to get shit started and with type safety. And well, the developer is pretty well. If you know, you know. He is a cool guy, or maybe girl, I don't know. Yeah. And the front end is Next.js. There is a reason for that. But what I want to show you is the framework that I have been using to implement the system. So you see the KhaveeAI React. This is the framework I have developed to make stuff easier for you to do an avatar. If you see this rendering, you can see that there's actually a blinking and a lip sync and also a movement and an automatic response from the AI avatar itself. This is basically a wrapper on the ThreeVRM SDK from Pixif. but we have integrated it with the OpenAI provider and make it seamless usage. So as you can see, usually doing things like this require a lot of line of code, but as you can see, I can fit it all in a single page in just about like 500 lines. This include a lot of custom to the like the chat and the UIs too, but well, mostly it can just be done in 300 line compared to like 3000 line that we usually need to do to achieve this. So at least, for example, blinking and mouse control with phoneme analysis has already been done automatically. So you can do it with any provider you want, OpenAI, Claude, or even any speech-to-speech that has OpenAI customizable interface. You don't want to use real-time API at all, it is viable. So I have attached the link to the framework inside this video, and also the link to Evaluate template if you want to extend the system. So let's see what it can do. First, I have set up the prompt right here. Just let me check if the screen was recorded. Okay. I've set up the prompt here, right? And also there's some parameter. So let's see, in the interesting part, let's find a Khavee provider. Khavee provider is a wrapper on the canvas of React to render a VRM avatar. So if anyone has been used the 3.js, you would be familiar with canvas and you rendering things on this. And this is basically 3.js wrapper and 3VRM wrapper. So we render VRM avatar here, which is what render Helen. The character I've been using included in the link if you want. I downloaded it from VRite Hub. And there's an animation configuration and idle animation that you could be using. Which will trigger automatically in the loop, and you could add other things like angry animation. Okay, the animation is not fixed at all, or only idle that is automatically trigger. So you could add a lot of animation, and I will show you later how you can use a hook from AI response to trigger a lot of emotion. But this is a simple implementation I did in about like an hour or two. So let's look at an interesting part. You can see that Khavee provider have a configuration from real time, and there is some VRM avatar config. Okay, let's ignore this. There's enable talking animation, which enable automatic phoneme analysis. That if audio was played with our audio hook, it will automatically analyze and trigger animation mouth movements. And then the source of rendering VRM, but let's ignore that and check out the Khavee provider. Khavee provider is, well, the configuration of overall system. So you can see the real time, and if you trace back the API back to the root of a variable, which is this constant, there's a use memo of OpenAI real-time provider hook with config within API key. In production, you should create OpenAI compatible with properly client-side issued key that draw a lot of time or no key at all, but with coarse protection. But I want this to be easy to test, so it also supports just an OpenAI public interface, and you just put the URL in the front end. And this is okay for this project since it will be run in only my local network on the kiosk. So well, that's it. And instruction, which is the prompt I have configured, which is the role players URL and stuff. Well, you can see. So let's say the important part that made her interesting. So language speed model, if you have used the GPT calling, you know what to do. But the tool is what makes this interesting. So the tool, we got Open Light alert and the Proxmox Home Lab overview, which is what we have been used before. Proxmox list server, with inside you can see the API calling interface, like name, Open Light, description, parameter, and the execution. I have been doing this instead of using MCP server because there's a lot of things that you want to do on the client side, not to make separate MCP server. For example, you may want her to trigger an emotion, so you could use this hook to interact with client side stuff. But for MCP server, you could use a tool to interact with MCP server too, which is viable. The interface is basically used. You just identify an action type. So this is basically tool calling type of OpenAI format. So in our case that we integrate Proxmox Home Lab or will Proxmox List Server, this like this, right? The interface is just as you can see here, is call an API client to the Proxmox backend. So the backend it actually didn't go to Proxmox. It actually go to our EliSJS backend module here, the Proxmox module. If you don't know about EliSJS, you could just think of it as Express.js server. So we got a backend, and this front-end code just call our backend, get the stuff, and then return to Avatar. And you can see that the response time is pretty good and easy too. Well, let me try some simple calling, and let's inspect the log letter that the request actually came through. We will try an alert to see if the alert command actually got sent to the backend.
Here we go again. Trying to find the light in this endless digital darkness.
Well,
Try to turn on the light. Just remember, flickers, it's probably my fault. Here goes.
well, I don't want you to turn on the light. I just want you to send an alert. Just
Yes.
just say hi or something.
Right. Send an alert to say hi. It's probably the highlight of my existence. Digital greeting. Here it goes. The alert message has been sent successfully. If you have any other requests, just let me know.
Well, as you can see, the alert is successfully sent and I can stop the conversation with Ava and things have been running pretty smoothly. This not only support OpenAI real-time API, as you can see, there's a provider configs and actually you could config a lot of provider. We support AI, we support Cloud, Bedrock, Azure, and actually OpenAI and anything that you can self-host with same interface as OpenAI. So feel free to try it out. I have included a link to the framework and the documentation inside this video. See you later.